My name's Dax Marin, a ship mechanic from what used to be Earth. I've been scraping by in the outer colonies, fixing whatever junk the galaxy threw at me. One night, I caught a distress signal from the Kuren belt, faint, distorted, and alien. The translator barely managed a few words. Royal vessel, emergency landing, critical systems offline. Royal. That was enough to get me moving. I followed the beacon to a dead gray moon orbiting a red dwarf star. Through the dust storm, I spotted a silver vessel half buried in the rock, elegant, alive with faint pulses of light that moved across its surface like veins. I'd never seen technology like that. Inside, the air was thin, metallic, and humming. I followed the light down a corridor and stepped into what must have been the control chamber. That's when I saw her. A woman, no, not human, stood amid shattered consoles, holding a plasma pistol steady at my chest. Her skin shimmered pale blue under the lights. Her eyes glowed gold, like molten sunlight, and her voice was steady when she spoke. Identify yourself, intruder. Name's Dax. I fix things. Picked up your distress call. She hesitated, then lowered the weapon slightly. You understand me? Mostly. You're speaking Liranic, right? Her gaze softened. I am Princess Ariela of the Liraven Empire. My ship was sabotaged. Are you capable of repairing Royal Liraven technology, human? I smiled faintly. Never tried. But I'm a fast learner. Middle, sparks and shadows. The ship, Illyris Vale, she called it, was alive in a way human ships weren't. Its circuits pulsed like blood vessels. Its engines breathed. But the sabotage was brutal. Someone had placed a resonance disruptor near the energy core, nearly frying the entire system. I got to work with my tools while the princess watched every move, her posture regal, her eyes sharp. Your species still uses fusion cores and carbon conduits, she said with faint amusement. Crude. Inefficient. Maybe, I replied, but ours don't explode when someone sneezes near them. Her lips curved slightly. You are bold for mechanic. We worked side by side for hours. She guided me through alien schematics while I improvised with human tools. Somewhere between the hiss of plasma welders and the hum of energy relays, our guarded silence turned into conversation. She told me about her mission, a secret diplomatic journey meant to stop a war between her empire and the Tirith Dominion. But betrayal struck from within her own court. Power, she murmured, is a poison, even among those born to it. On Earth, I said, we used to say the same thing. She looked at me then, really looked at me, and for the first time, I saw more than a ruler. I saw a lonely soul stranded light years from anyone she could trust. Hours later, the Illyris Vale stirred back to life. I wiped sweat from my forehead and grinned. You've got partial thrust and shields. Should hold until you reach your fleet. Ariela stepped closer, her voice softer now. You've done more than any engineer I've ever known. Tell me, Dax Marin, what reward do you seek? I shrugged. A thank you would be nice. Her lips lifted. Then you have it. Thank you. But before I could answer, alarms wailed through the ship. Red lights flashed. Tirith hunters, she said grimly. They've found me. Climax. The battle above the moon. The ship shook as enemy vessels descended through the atmosphere, firing plasma bolts that scorched the lunar surface. Ariela leapt into the pilot's chair and barked orders in her native tongue. You should not be here, she shouted. "This fight is not yours." Too late for that. I yelled back, strapping into a seat. "Your engine's patched with human parts. I'm not letting it fall apart mid-battle." She gave a sharp glance, but there was a flicker of respect there. The Alera's veil roared to life, lifting into the black sky. The stars spun around us as she dodged enemy fire. Her hands danced over glowing controls like a conductor leading lightning. But one TRF fighter clipped our stabilizer, sending us into a spiral. Warning alarm screamed. "I can fix it." I shouted, crawling under the console. Sparks rained around me. "I just need." "Make it quick," she ordered. Adrenaline took over. I rerouted power, fused conduits, and slammed my fist against the core. The ship shuddered, then steadied. "Now, Princess." I yelled. She pulled a glowing lever, and the Alera's veil unleashed a blinding energy burst. The nearest enemy ships vaporized in white light, and the rest scattered into the void. When the silence returned, I slumped back into the seat, panting. Not bad for a mechanic. Oh. Aila turned toward me. Her golden eyes seemed to glow even brighter. "You have courage, Daxmarin, and something more." More. In my people's tongue, there's a word for one who fights beside royalty with heart and honor. She paused, voice almost a whisper. "We call them Consort." "Consort." I repeated, blinking. "That sounds serious." Her smile was soft, knowing. "It is." Ending the bound star. When the ship stabilized, I helped her plot a course to neutral space. The stars shimmered beyond the viewport like 1,000 watching eyes. I packed my tools, ready to leave. "Your ship's good to go, Princess. Guess this is where I disappear back into the dust." She studied me quietly, then stepped closer. "You saved me from death and from solitude. My people will not forget." "Wasn't looking for glory," I said. "Just doing what I do best." She reached out and took my hand, cool, light, and strangely electric. "Perhaps you do not realize," she murmured, "the Alera's veil is imprinted with your touch. It recognizes you now. So do I. Recognizes me. In the eyes of my people," she said softly, "you are now bound to me as my consort." I froze, half stunned, half in awe. "That's permanent." Her eyes glowed like small suns, until the stars themselves fade. Outside, space unfolded like liquid silver. I stood beside her at the viewport, both of us bathed in starlight. Once, I was just a drifter fixing broken ships. Now I was something more, part of something far greater, bound not by metal or machine, but by something I didn't quite understand. As the Alera's veil leapt into faster-than-light travel, the stars stretched into streams of gold. The princess turned toward me, her expression calm, but her eyes alive with a warmth I'd never seen. "Welcome among the stars, Consort," she said, and for the first time in my life, I didn't feel like I was running anymore. I felt like I'd finally arrived.